Shut up and sit down.
Hi. So thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here at Hash Bash 2020. It is a big honor. Thank you. So I'm actually from Students for Sensible Drug Policy at Oakland Community College. Although we were actually supposed to have a lobby day around HB 5120, the bill that Isaac Robinson did spearhead. So we will continue his work with University of Michigan and other campuses where Students for Sensible Drug Policy is at. So if you're not familiar with Students for Sensible Drug Policy, we are a grassroots and international student organization dedicated to ending the war on drugs. So I want to speak a little bit more about how students are disproportionately affected by the war on drugs. It's different from all levels, whether it's like K-12 or the college level, but the no tolerance policy exists in both places. I know that the no tolerance policy was originally intended and implemented to promote a safe learning environment, but we know that it has done the exact opposite. It does target communities of color more frequently than anybody else, and that's society at large in general most of the time. Examples of these harsh punishments that come from the zero tolerance policy are like expulsion or suspension, incarceration. A large amount of the time, the no tolerance policy will start with a suspension and expulsion, but eventually it does filter to the school to prison pipeline sometimes. And we see that from the alternative schools. I can speak for the fact that I was in one my senior year of high school, and I don't know that it's a coincidence that the majority of the students in this alternative high school were students of color, where the rest of the high school that was not the alternative high school where they had weeded these children from, where it was dominantly white. And a lot of the times, the first day of school, a student was escorted off campus from a police officer because he smelled of marijuana. And I never saw him on campus again. I actually don't even believe that he graduated. And this is not a non-uncommon story. A lot of the times these policies will just encourage students to not come back to school. I mean, they're being told, if you're going to have this, we're going to just take you out of school. Whereas, wouldn't you think there are like other policies that would be more effective in helping these students and getting them an education is not just better for them in general, but also for the economy. We're spending billions and billions every year funding the war on drugs and mass incarceration. I mean, if we want to encourage this next generation, especially our students, people who are going to be leading this world one day, we need to be giving them policies that are going to help them succeed in their field. So I know Drug Policy Alliance has this program called Safety First, and it was kind of created out of acknowledging that DARE, the drug program that kind of doesn't teach you anything about drugs, doesn't promote healthy, honest conversation, but kind of just condemns drug use. Even though we know people are going to use no matter what. I think it's almost a quarter of young people that use drugs. So we would think Safety First understands that students are going to use no matter what, and understands that abstinence-only drug education does not work, which is what's currently implemented in most K-12 schools. So they push for accurate, honest, interactive, and compassionate conversation. Policies rooted in compassion, healthcare, human rights, and science seems like the perfect tool to helping our society, and that's what this program would do. They teach things like if you see someone overdosing, which I know in this country we have a opioid overdose epidemic, and punishing people and not teaching people how to handle people in those situations. I mean, I for one can speak. I had a friend in high school overdose, and when I tried to reach out for help, we were all suspended. He never got the help he was supposed to get, and I do believe that is a result from the no tolerance policy and not handling these children with compassion, because he could have, if he had just gotten the help, and this is true for many people and many students, maybe they would have graduated and they would have they would have succeeded in their education and provided to been a productive member of society, but we have to give those tools first and foremost. So just providing a truthful education about drugs and drug use while we're still young and while we're growing up, and being honest about what's out there would be a huge help in helping ending the war on drugs and ending the stigma that does produce so much pain and heartache. It's not even about the drug use, it's how we're looking at it and how people are handling those situations. So SSDP works a lot with getting rid of the no tolerance policy, implementing what's it called? Safe amnesty policies, so students can reach out for help and get those in place. Thank you. Thank you for having me here today. You guys have a happy Hash Bash. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Yay.